Take you back now to the story. Today is the second and final day of the ANC's NEC's two-day meeting in Boksburg. SABC News reporter Samkele Maseko is on standby now with the latest. So, Samkele, before we got interrupted a bit earlier on, you were just about to get that conversation started with the ANC spokesperson.
Yes, indeed, Mxolisi. Before we were so rudely interrupted by our Kremlins, but we have sorted those particular issues out. I am going to bring back Mahlengi Pengu, the spokesperson of the ANC. Ms. Pengu, just the essence of this second day of the NEC, what was focused upon on the first day and what will be the main thrust of the business of the day today?
Yesterday, Samkele, thank you very much. Yesterday, the focus was mainly looking at the state of local government, municipality by municipality, literally all municipalities in the country, breaking it down in terms of the state of municipalities, the fiscal state and service delivery state, issues related to corruption and how we might be tackling those. And that is what was mainly yesterday's focus. Today we are literally discussing those two very extensive reports presented by Dr. Dixon Masemola and the Deputy Secretary General Marupini Ramokgopa. And we're now looking at all of those reports with the view of emerging with an action plan by the end of the day today. This is the same action plan that is going to be marking a major departure by the ANC towards enforcing accountability, enforcing consequence management and tackling cases where some of our councillors may be fingered in acts of malfeasance and acts of corruption, and we are going to be doing that precisely because of what the opening address by the President alluded to this point, where yourselves as members of the media had the occasion to listen in on what the President was referring to, and so we are acting on the injunction issued by the President.
Speaking about acting, recently in Buffalo City you had your own councillors pushing a motion of no confidence against Mayor Princess Fagu. You go to the Northwest Province, there are a number of municipalities that are also defying the ANC's regional and provincial structures when it comes to changes within municipalities. You go to the Sabotla municipality that ultimately has now been dissolved, which sees two mayors, two municipal managers in Sipedi Bari Kimikiti Wadikaks in some of these particular municipalities. What action is going to be taken in such lawlessness where you find service delivery is not deplorable within those municipalities? You go to Buffalo City, the municipality is infested with potholes everywhere you go.
We are obviously headed to the roll call of all ANC councillors tomorrow, a total of 4,853 councillors of the ANC across the country. That's a massive army if it's properly mobilized and if consequence management is the order of the day. The days of councillors of the ANC defying the political line are over. And that is what signifies why this special NEC was convened, to focus on nothing else but local government. We are going to be issuing the marching orders through the President and the Secretary General tomorrow, and we will not have a situation where anyone that is under the banner of the ANC can do as they please. It stops here and now.
When we look at some of the issues facing local government, particularly go to Mangaung, they've got a number of ghost employees allegedly that are being paid by the municipality, a number of people who've been retired who are still being paid by the municipality. You come to the city of Johannesburg, your affluent areas, your Bryanston, your Sandtons, your Sandhursts, they go on for 2-3 days without water within that particular area of the city. One lavish particular boutique hotel in Sandton has even threatened to pull out of the G20 summit because saying their brand is much bigger than this one-time event, where ultimately they will not have water to cater for a high-profile guest that may be sleeping there over the G20 summit.
Well, you know, when it comes to Johannesburg, it may not be possible for all of the citizens of Johannesburg to benefit from the current dividend that is currently underway. The Johannesburg is on an upswing now. If the interventions by the mayor's bomb squad that has been put in place is anything to go by. It's hardly 2 months, I think, since they started operating, but there are visible and tangible interventions that have been made by way of dealing with sewer by way of closing potholes. There's a lot of work that is being done to sort out the street lights. The report was being presented today by our researchers and yesterday by our researchers, pointing to the fact that there's some green shoots in as far as Johannesburg is concerned. Obviously, we want that to happen faster, quicker, and also to be communicated effectively so that people may know that it may be that my street has no lighting, but there's work that is being done in a neighboring suburb to address those issues. And so we're looking into that Johannesburg model that the mayor has been out and about fixing and cleaning different sections of the city, including going as far as the township Soweto, to basically bring in teams to start fixing the municipality. We are looking forward to that being accelerated, and much more still needs to be done. eThekwini, for example, is a model for how a turnaround led by the ANC has happened, and a lot of eThekwini residents are applauding the turnaround that has been done under the leadership of Mayor Cyril Kaba. And so the eThekwini model, we want that to be transported to all other municipalities, small or big, so that our people can live in clean, habitable spaces.
A damage that was inflicted by you within that particular municipality, because in all fairness, eThekwini municipality was run down by the African National Congress. Your own president yesterday fell short of saying the city was torn, it was broken apart by majoritarian rule within that particular municipality, which he also outlined in his political overview report that he delivered, saying that in most instances coalition governments and one majority rule of one party has crippled municipalities.
Well, the most important thing I think about now is the fact that the president himself was quite stern in his rebuke of bad behavior, and we are taking the leaf from there. If you were to just listen in on the conversations that are currently taking place, very strong views about we must make an example about with some of our councillors that have basically have not served our people to the required standard and to the required value system. And so we are focusing on that. There have been misses, as you indicate, but we are focused on taking local government to a higher trajectory, positive trajectory of service delivery, working with communities, because the idea that government alone can fix societal problems, I think we all know that that is a myth. Why am I saying this? Government working with the people, we can fix the state of local government. For example, we have water extortionists in the construction space, in the water space, the water mafias and others. Those are abetted by some members of the community. Government can do as much as it can, but ultimately it requires the whole of society to work together to stamp the kind of rot that we've seen in parts of the country where people are extorting in order to make money and continue to prolong a problem so that they can benefit financially.
This is the ANC's view on the start of the Madanga Commission this week.
We're looking forward to that. We were the first to come out and welcome the appointment by the President of the Judicial Commission, and believe that the state of policing in South Africa, the state of law enforcement has got to be attended to with the urgency that it requires, because it doesn't bode well for stability. And so we are looking forward, and any of our members that may be called upon, we urge them to basically present themselves and help our country to stamp corruption, particularly as it involves members of the law enforcement community. So we're looking forward to that, because we believe that what was the lead that was lifted by Lieutenant General Ntantla Mkhwanazi and others that have spoken subsequent to that have really shone a spotlight on the issues that are happening in that environment. It is only in the best interest of South Africa that we normalize law enforcement and make sure that any of the people that are part of the police service, for example, it must be upright individuals, and therefore the Commission must help us get to the bottom of it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pengu. That is Ms. Pengu, the spokesperson of the African National Congress, speaking about the discussions on local government that have ensued from yesterday, today, and reports that were delivered to this particular NEC by Dr. Dixon Masamula, the Deputy Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, and also some of the experts that have given reports to the African National Congress on the state of local government, the ANC researchers as well, on what's currently happening in the city of Johannesburg, Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, and all other metro municipalities and local municipalities within the country. There will be a roll call on Monday that will be led by the President of the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa, and the Secretary General, speaking to all of the ANC councillors, all over 4,300 of them across the country.
Samkele Maseko watching that story for us. Thanks so much for that update.